And I'm not sure. Let me play this here, and I want to see. Let me know if you can hear the music. Can you hear that?
I can.
Okay, excellent, excellent.
Yep.
And I'll go ahead and give you a hint. We're gonna start off the videos with your video, Battle Cry. So we're gonna kick it off. Yeah, we're gonna kick that one off. That's how we're gonna get the party started this evening.
Perfect.
So let me see. And let's see. All right, Virginia, let me get a 1-2 mic check from you.
1 2 1 2.
And this thing's got a little delay. That's okay. Let me get a 1-2 mic check from you. 1 2 1 2. Perfect. We got that going. And let me play this again just to make sure we got sound coming from there.
We are a nation who has sold its soul. We are a nation out of control, living on borrowed time. Our history is
perfect. We are good.
Awesome.
All right. Let me get these going here. And rename that. Ooh. Voila. All right. And one more. All right. Bang, bang, bang. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Get that out of there. That goes out of there. Oh. All right, and here we go.
Tmill, come out and play.
Play it loud.
We're changing the status quo one voice at a time, through music, edutainment, children, and awareness. We're progressing and preserving the culture through real conversations with people who've had real success. multicultural artists and musicians, models, entrepreneurs, innovators, and activists. This is Paradox East, and you are in tune with tmill. Powered by the MaitlandConservatory.org.
Thank you for listening to In Tune with tmill.
Yes, indeed. Paradox East Radio, in tune with tmill. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Good morning for those of you guys that are on the other side of the world. And you will now be encouraged and entertained. Nothing will change until you change something. We are here to change the status quo one more time. And I have a very special guest. It's been a long time since we've had to sit down and chat. And the last time we talked, this was about her album Battle Cry. And somewhere in the universe, that conversation has been, it's out there somewhere, but the universe is so big, I have no idea where to look for it. So rather than talk about that last conversation, it's been a couple years, because the last time she and I talked, the last time she was on this show, the last time that you saw her face was in January of 2020 when we were last talking on 2020 on the show, and that was right before COVID. So before the world shut down, we had no idea in January how things were going to change, how our lives were going to be affected. And in this conversation, we're talking about, civil rights, human rights. We're talking about the temperature and just the culture of the world, the anger and the frustration that was going on before the pandemic happened, and then the pandemic happened. And so her fourth album, Battle Cry, is an album about civil and human rights and just a phenomenal music landscape. And she's been a longtime supporter of this show, has returned and been on the show many times, and I'm glad to have her back. A music therapist, graduated from Florida State, and we've talked about so many different things, and we're here to talk about some more and hope to encourage you today. Prominent figure on the jazz scene, longtime resident of Atlanta, musician, activist, artist, friend. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Virginia Shank. How you doing?
Hey, tmill, I'm doing so well, and it's a delight to be back in the studio here with you.
Yeah, we're back.
Hey, I'm back. That's right.
Yes. It's so good to see you, and so good to see that you're in good health, that you're still smiling, you're still in good spirits, you're still fighting a good fight, as they say. How are you and your family, friends? Still, I don't like to say out of the pandemic, because I feel like we're still there just a little bit, not too much. But how are your family, friends, and loved ones?
Thank you. Everyone is doing well, and mostly I would say, we have fared well with the pandemic. And dealing with it and getting used to living with the aftermath of how we get along with this virus, and just dealing with normal life issues and challenges. So I'm grateful, very grateful for that, and grateful to be here.
Outstanding. Now, before, in January of 20, we were talking about your album Battle Cry. We were celebrating its release, talking about its purpose and the mission behind it. Give us a little bit about what Battle Cry was about, and the purpose of an album like that, and so many prominent, very, very topics that are kind of tough to entertain through and kind of use that medium of music. But what is Battle Cry, and what was that purpose and mission of that album?
Well, and it still is my battle cry, still crying, my battle cry for social justice and for civil and human rights. And of course, always, just as a human, that's always been my thrust and in my heart, to do well by all humans. But I would say the turn of events, rather, in 2016, 2018, really hit me. And it dawned on me that my own grandmother, my mom's mom, was a suffragette. And that wasn't so long ago, y'all. That's palpable that my grandmother fought for the right for women to have the right to vote. And so voting and democracy and the state of our country really kind of hit me hard. And I found myself singing songs just at home, which is often how I get inspired about, what's on my heart, what's coming up in my subconscious, that I'm singing and want to sing. Songs like Abraham, Martin, and John, that old Dion song. I'd already been singing Sack Full of Dreams, which is kind of a Donny Hathaway made famous. What are things that are speaking to me? And I started employing them in my concerts and my gigs, and people were really responding, and it just kind of fed that way. And that's usually how my albums happen, is what have I been working on? What have I been doing? And then I kind of look behind me and, oh, it's time to go in the studio and kind of put this together. And so is that answering your question?
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of questions, everyone watching in the chat room, if you have questions, please put them in the chat room and we will get them on for our guest. Or if you just have a shout out, if you have a shout out of where you're listening and watching from, we'd love to hear that as well. All right. Virginia, how about we go to a video? Let's go to the video for Battle Cry. And when did you shoot this video?
I shot that video, let's see, in the fall before January 2022. I can't remember exactly when now, but
nice.
It takes place all around Atlanta, shots in Atlanta. Yeah.
Absolutely. Beautiful video. And I want you guys to watch it. And we're going to come back with some more questions with Virginia. We're talking about music therapy. We're talking about how to navigate this thing called life, because we're still trying to figure it out. No one's figured it out yet. If they did, they would sell it. So let's make sure that we have some fun. And we're going to watch this video and more videos from great jazz artists right here on In Tune with tmill. Let's get into Battle Cry. We'll be right back.
Nation who has sold its soul. We are a nation out of control, living on borrowed time. Our history is a crime. This is our American story, like it or not. Neighbor in this too. Serve each other, don't compete. Bless each other, don't condemn. Stand your hand to each other with honor and respect. For us to reach the American dream, we must bust these chains within. Can we find the path to freedom by the truth in our lives? Find the courage, hope, and strength. Stand tall. Ourselves and pay our dues. Hear my battle cry. I will live in truth or die. Democracy's experiment is wearing thin. Each generation needs some sparking from within. Dreams don't rest on reason, but fly on wings of passion. This is the universal story, like it or not. Can we find the path to freedom by the truth in our lives? Find the courage, strength, and hope. Stand tall. Correct ourselves and pay our dues. Hear my battle cry. I will live in truth or die.
That is Battle Cry from Virginia Shank. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we're watching In Tune with T-Mill. You are here this afternoon, this evening, this morning, whatever time it is, because you are a fan of great music. You're a fan of music therapy and just great conversation, and you want to know more about our guest, Virginia. Now, we're talking about, we talked about the album Battle Cry, and what's been, because again, I imagine you have tour plans, you have plans for events, or you have and everyone's plans just kind of shook up, so how did you navigate, delivering that album and sharing that album and also celebrating that album through a pandemic? How did that happen?
Yeah. What happened and what didn't happen, and
Yeah.
as the case may be, and stories different for everyone, for sure. Well, so the album went to radio in January, and so it had launched, but my tour was not planned until late March, early April. And so, as you know, we all were in lockdown. So,
Yep.
That's how that went. So then we didn't know how things were going to play out, of course. And so I shifted everything to the fall, and then the fall came along and we shifted to the next year. And then it just, kept getting shifted. And then it just wasn't really making sense. The economics of it and the unknowingness of it. And by that time, the album's been really well received by radio, and it's kind of become a constant. I'm grateful to say. And so it's like it took a life of its own, which, talk about gratitude, around some of our national holidays, whether it's loved or a little controversial, because there are some controversial tunes on here, depending on what your sentiments are, or tunes just make you sit and think. And that is the point, like just to sit down and ponder a little bit. At least it's my point. So, and yet I love this country and I want the best for our country. I really do. So that kind of happened. And then, so I haven't really celebrated it in a touring way, but, just like the lyrics of that title tune, Hear My Battle Cry, is, when I wrote it, I mean, those are tough lyrics if you sit and listen to them. I mean, where I say, I will live in truth or die, I really had to sit and wrestle with my own angels, if you will, and say, okay, Virginia, if this is really what you stand for, come the hour, what are you standing up for?
Yeah.
Or, come to the pearly gates, what are you going to look in the eye to your God and say? Whatever that is for you, but to use that metaphor. And I really needed to get bone honest. So what did I do? I've been in many chat rooms. I've been in think tanks, and I've done a lot of consulting with groups that you can imagine have emerged, during the pandemic and with all the things that have happened in that time.
All right. We got a shout out from the chat room. Patty says, shout out to this amazingly talented and kind woman. Thank you, Patty, for joining us this afternoon, watching. You guys drop your questions or comments in the chat room so we can share with our guest, Virginia Shank. You're watching In Tune with T-Mill. I'm T-Mill. We are live from the Rocket City on Paradox East Radio. And if you guys are just now tuning in on Paradox East Radio, we do have the stream going live at Paradox East Radio as well. Let me tell you a little bit of secret about Facebook. Facebook is tricky. So playing this music, now we have our license because we're a licensed internet radio station, but for whatever reason, Facebook might kick you out. So if you're watching on Facebook and you want to continue to watch the videos and listen to the music, you can continue to watch it, but you might want to come over to paradoxeast.org until Facebook gets their thing together. But you're more than welcome to watch wherever you're comfortable at. Some people are like, hey, I've got this comfy seat on the couch. I'm not going anywhere, T-Mill. We're going to continue to play some great music. This next one is coming from a gentleman who I have the pleasure of hosting a fundraiser for this weekend. This is Giovanni Rodriguez and 12 Manos. He's going to be with Friends, Grammy Award-winning composer, Afro-Caribbean, great band. There's going to be a lot of good music for this weekend, and we'll play a commercial a little bit later for you guys to check out. But until that, here is Rock With You, Giovanni Rodriguez and 12 Manos on Paradox East Radio.
Try to fight it. There ain't nothing that you can do. Relax your mind. Lay back and groove with mine. You gonna feel the heat, and we can ride the boogie. Share that beat of love. I wanna rock with you all night. Dance you in today.
Paradox East Radio, paradoxeast.org. That is Giovanni Rodriguez and Friends. Remember, you guys can check them out. I'm not a member of the band. I'll be hosting an evening with the band this Saturday night at El Mocajete Mexican Grill. And you can watch the whole fundraiser on paradoxeast.org. Move the furniture out the way, get your salsa dancing on, get some Afro-Caribbean dancing on, and all your saka, merengue, and all your soca, and all that good stuff. Having a good time. Virginia, do you like to dance? Oh, let me get your mic unmuted. I'm sorry. Virginia, do you like to dance?
I love to dance, and I'll be right over. They sound like so much fun.
Yes, indeed. So you guys make sure you join us this Saturday night on Paradox East Radio. We're talking to my friend Virginia Shank about her album, about music therapy, and about just this whole time, everything that we're going through, no matter if it's a pandemic or not. I think music therapy is something we need 24/7. I think it should be one of those things that come with if you're at a job, you know how it's mandatory, you have to take breaks, you have to take lunch because of labor laws and everything like that. There should be a therapy or a nap session somewhere in there where it's like, it's against the law to not give me a nap. I have to get a nap, at least a 5 or a little 10-minute quick nap and some therapy. How important is music therapy, and what is music therapy?
Well, there's a lot of questions in there. Okay, so first of all, I want to say that I did study music therapy, and I do have a degree in music therapy from Florida State, and so we could really go down a foxhole of it being quite precise. Sorry, a rabbit hole, not a foxhole, but a rabbit hole. But, it's really important and can be used in working with people with a lot of challenges or disabilities. Because, the kind of music you might use for certain things, just wouldn't be relevant for other things. Like the kind of music you want to use for aerobics is not what you want to use for meditation, or the kind of music for some person's mental health would not be the right music for someone else's mental health. So that's where a music therapist can really help define what's going to work for the individual. But in a general sense, when we think of music as being healing for all of us, we could say that, yes. And obviously, tmill, that's why you and I are drawn to music and in the way that we are. We want it in our life 24/7. And in a performing sense, it is for a performer a way of expression, because there's so much music inside of me. I need for it to get out. It's a language for me. In many ways, it's more of a language than verbal language when I'm expressing. And I would dare to say that a lot of other performers would say the same thing. And for you, being a DJ and in what you choose to share.
Absolutely. I mean, when they came out with the song last night, "A DJ Saved My Life," I've been places that I'm sure everyone has been somewhere that you weren't feeling your best. Or maybe you were celebrating and having the time of your life, and a DJ or a song came on and you're like, wow, you're in my head.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And you also know when it's the wrong song, like, oh my God, why are they playing that? When the vibe is totally wrong. Like you read the crowd wrong. So it's important to get it right.
So a great example of that would be, someone told me they were at a wedding. So one of the shows that I host, we break down the lyrics of R&B songs, songs where you thought it was one way, but it's really a different way. You thought the song was about something and it's completely something else. And someone told me that they were at a wedding and this is the bride and the groom dancing.
Uh-oh.
And the DJ plays Reasons by Earth, Wind and Fire. Now, Reasons. So the song Reasons sounds like this great, love song and everything like that. And you go into the lyrics are not quite what you think that song is about. Or songs like Before I Let Go. It's about a breakup. It's about, like just one more chance, or just these songs are just, it's like wrong place, wrong time. Right. The intent was there, but the execution was terrible. Yeah. So great songs. And we're here to talk about music therapy. If you guys have a song I want to know from you guys in the chat room, what is one of your favorite songs that gets you through tough times, or songs that completely lift your spirits, or songs that make you feel like you can take Rocky Balboa and Floyd Mayweather in a 2-minute run, songs that just really get you pumped up, ready to go, ready to get at it, songs that really make you excited and ready to get your hustle and give it your all or your best at work, songs that give you the confidence where you feel like you can just fly. What are your favorite songs? You guys drop those in the chat room for us, because I love to add music to my playlist. So please drop those songs in there. We're talking to my friend Virginia Shank about music therapy, talking about her album Battle Cry. We're going to come back with some more questions, and you guys drop your questions in the chat room, and we'll get those asked, because we want to find out what's coming up for 2023. We're going into the holidays. We want to find out where Virginia is going to be performing, because we got to start putting in our time off. If she's going to be in New York or LA or Miami, we got to put that time in now and tell our boss, look, I won't be here come March 2023 because I'm going to see my friend Virginia Shank performing, at Coachella or wherever it is. So you guys make sure you drop your questions in the chat room. We're continuing to play great indie music, great indie jazz, and this one's coming from my friend Eliane Amherd and her trio. This is La Degustion, and I'm totally butchering that name. This is Eliane Amherd on Paradox East Radio. We'll be right back.
Flames of desire, born to get higher, born to be free. Flames of desire, born to get higher, born to be free. In the spirit of 1970, this is when it came to be. Purple haze and blackberry. In the spirit of 1970, this is when it came to be. You were meant to blend, but he set himself free. No one could deny your dance and cheat. You were meant to blend, but you rather stand out. You're a death matter, other ones better watch out. You were meant to blend, deep purple child. Your colors bold, driving other ones wild. You were meant to blend, such a peppery cheese. You're so resilient, standing your ground ready. Flames of desire, born to get higher, born to be free. Flames of desire, born to get higher, born to be free.
Hey guys, my name is Eliane Amhert. You can find my music on my website, Eliane Performs, or anywhere on social media under my name, Eliane Amhert, and you are listening to Paradox East Radio. That's right.
We are watching and listening to some of the best jazz around the world right here on Into and tmill. And we're here with one of the best jazz artists out here for music therapy, out here keeping people dancing, thinking, having a good time. My guest today is Virginia Shank, and we're talking about her album Battle Cry. And we want to know now also, let me go to the chat room real quick, Virginia, because we had some really nice suggestions on music. I was asking you guys some of your music suggestions and just some of your picks. So Patty says, Bill Withers' Lovely Day. Can you go wrong with that song? You can't. That is such a beautiful song.
Yeah, Bill Withers was amazing, right?
Yes, got Bill Withers, and then the Crusaders, Chain Reaction. Come on, man. Shout out to Jerry. Appreciate that. And you guys drop your questions in the chat room or your song picks, and we will definitely get our questions to our guest, Virginia. 2023 is on the way. Now, I don't mean to speed through the holidays. So do you have any plans for the holidays and what's coming up for 2023?
Well, I'm going to be keeping it a little bit quiet, and I'm not going to divulge what's coming in the new year. So you're going to have to report back. But I can tell your folks, hey, check out my website, which I'm sure you'll share with them. And,
yes,
probably they're already on Facebook and the social media handles, for what's happening, and you'll find out there. So, stay tuned.
There you go. But don't
not divulging just yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to drop that link in the chat room for you guys, so you guys can check out her website. And a beautiful website as well. Let's take a look over there, and I want you guys to see what I'm seeing over there on the website.
Kudos to you, tmill, because you spell my name correctly. That is no small feat. So well done.
You know what? It took a lot. I'll take that, because I know I butcher names all the time. And so the fact that I got that right, I'll take it.
Yeah.
So listen, you guys, it's virginiashank.com. You guys can click the link in the chat room, and you can go around to check out about her bio, about the music. What you'll find here is the album we're talking about, Battle Cry, and you can listen right on the site.
Yeah, I know. Because you know what? You can listen streaming anywhere, so why not?
That's what I would love to see more artists do this.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. It is very sleek. You can go to her press to find other articles and write-ups and reviews. Sometimes reviews really give you an in-depth sort of perspective on the album. It also brings up things you might not have considered.
Yeah.
You might not have thought about, gives you, or those things where you go, you know what, I got to go take a second listen to that, or that after you watch the movie review and you go, oh, I got to take another look. I missed that, so you got to go back. So reviews are great. The itinerary, also singing journeys. I got to go back to press because, again, you guys, you keep good friends and you start to see your names in certain places. There you go, tmill. Hey.
There.
Look at these reviews and oh my goodness, recognition everywhere. Look at what people are saying about Virginia Shank and her music. And these are just the ones that they could fit on there. I mean, there's plenty more. Now, this gets me to my next question, and I'm glad this is a perfect segue. I knew out there I was coming to the site for a reason. What is singing journeys and vocal journeys? That sounds pretty exciting.
I know. They're two different things. Okay, so Vocal Journeys was a series I started during the pandemic, and I keep toying with whether I should kick it back up. It was kind of a precursor to podcasts. I did interviews with artists right after lockdown. Some of my favorite artists and folks I know, to see what they were doing, how they were doing immediately during the pandemic. And that was super fun because like you, I like to talk and I like to interview people and have conversations. I just don't know that I want to take on a regular podcast life, having to do it all the time. So that's what Vocal Journeys artist interview series are. And I may just do them from time to time. So you can take a look there. And that gets pushed out to YouTube as well. And singing journeys are literally singing with me, if you want, if you dare, singing journeys with me.
I like that.
In a workshop or in a retreat. I work with all kinds of singers. Don't be shy. Professionals to shower singers. And
that would be me.
Hey,
shower singer, in the car singer, you know, karaoke after too much wine singer. So that would be me.
See? If you can talk, you can sing. So in fact, historically now we're finding that humans were singing before they were talking. So hello, how about that?
Wow.
How about that? So the singing voice came first. So we explore the voice and how all kinds of things. I mean, we sing together and only solos if you want to. But I also do it in such a way that if it's a workshop, you can bring me to where you are. You know, like I could come to Huntsville.
Yes. Yes.
Right? You know, we can do it anywhere. But the ones that I really plan that are in retreat, I like to place in a particular place and make it unique to that place. So for instance, I take groups to Ireland. I find the land very enchanting, and I love to go out on the land where the rocks and the grass and the sheep, and there's just so much history in the ground. And how does that inform us as singers? You're going to sing differently when you're in a different environment. Then I take people to the desert in New Mexico, and what's that like among the bones in the dry land? And so we talk about that and the stories that we sing and what that brings to us. And then I take folks down to the South Carolina coast and bring out the Gullah Geechee heritage. And it's not that I know about all these things. I bring in local artists because I know that it's not necessarily my heritage, but I bring folks in and special speakers and other singers too to teach us about those great places of the land. And then I've taken folks to New York City too, and you know, I've got some other ideas brewing as well. So so I like to travel and take folks with me on those singing journeys. So
that is outstanding, and I can't wait to. I definitely want to do one. And I definitely want to, I mean, we're right down the road from each other. So I'm sure there's got to be some cool spot or unique something here where we could get something like that going and to have something right here in our backyard here in the Tennessee Valley, because I want for folks to experience that. And then I want to go out and experience one somewhere in some mountains or over on an island or just some very, historic place. There's so many cool, majestic places in the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, Paradox East, Intune with tmill. We're going to go to a couple commercials of our sponsors because we love them, because they love us and they love you. Right. This is the reason why they're here, because they want to make sure that we keep continuing to bring you guys great music, great conversation. So we couldn't do it without you guys, and we couldn't do this without our sponsors. So we'll be right back with our guest, Virginia Shank, on Intune with tmill. We'll be back.
Welcome to Maitland Online, where your dreams meet the skills they need to be successful, where you are no longer just dreaming, but doing. Powered by Maitland Conservatory. Learn more, be more.
Diffusion, a fundraising concert series with great food, delicious drinks, and music from Grammy Award-winning Giovanni Rodriguez and friends. Friday, October 7th at 10 p.m. at El Mocaete Mexican Grill. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Paradox East Radio, in tune with tmill. Thank you to our sponsors, Mocktails for Mommy. These are drinks without alcohol. These are cocktails for moms and entrepreneurs and women all across the world. And also our friends over at the Maitland Conservatory and, of course, Fitness Defied and so many others. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And don't forget, Saturday, we're doing Sound Diffusion. It is a fundraising concert series, and it's going to be hosted by yours truly and music by the Grammy Award-winning Giovanni Rodriguez and friends. Also some sounds by DJ Queendom. So we're going to have a lot of great cocktails, a lot of room for dancing, and you guys can watch it all go down on Paradox East Radio at paradoxeast.org. Move the furniture out the way. Tell the kids, hey, look, you got to go to bed because mom and daddy are about to do some moves. We're going to have a great time. Listen, the drinks are way cheaper at home, so you can have a good time, enjoy yourself, eat all the food that you want. You can add seconds. You don't have to leave yourself a tip. You can have a good time. If you're somewhere out in the world and you can't make it out, you can enjoy it from the comfort of your home. Put it on the big screen. Turn on those great speakers because we'll have a great sound system in there for you and great engineers to make you feel like you're in the building and you're right there at the comfort of your home. So join us this Saturday night on paradoxeast.org. Talking back to Virginia Shank, we're talking about music therapy. We're talking about her plans for 2023. And Virginia, I got to ask, what is the music scene like in Atlanta? You know, what is the jazz music scene like there, and how is it recovering, you know, after this pandemic?
Well, it's doing quite well. It's coming, and already it was expanding before the pandemic, and we love that there are more artists moving here, living here. You know, the film industry also is booming here, and so much explosion going on. That we love it, that there are more artists living here. We need more venues too, and more radio
stations,
and everybody, you know, chipping in. But we, you know, we're doing well. You know, we need more folks to come out and support for sure. I know some folks are being a little shy about getting back out or have gotten a little comfortable on their couch. I don't know, tmill.
And I think it's a little bit of that because you get really, because again, like I said, me and my wife we're in love with Club Home. We can watch DJs, we can watch performances. You know, we don't have to worry about who's not going to drink tonight because they're the designated driver or, hey, we both had too much. We got to get an Uber and then we have to pay for that and we get comfortable. But however, there are the ones of those of us that would love to get out, that really want to go to some venues, but maybe the venues haven't taken safety or haven't taken it seriously enough to consider people's, you know, just their anxiety or some of their hesitation of going out. You know, venues that may not, you know, make people feel safe and give them the confidence that, hey, you're safe here. You know, that we do take this seriously, there were venues that stayed open completely through the pandemic. I get it. You have to pay the bills, but it's like, come on, could you have, you know, just move some chairs around and, you know, helped out a little bit, make me feel safe. So there are, you know, a little bit of both, but I hope that people can continue to get out. I would love, this is something that we've talked about here for years. We just had a music audit and jazz clubs came up for the Huntsville area and all the venues we have so many different venues here and we're missing blues and we're missing jazz, even though we have plenty of blues and jazz artists that are performing in some of these other places, but we don't have that home base. Right. You know, just yet. We have some small incubator spots or places that kind of play more jazz than other venues, but we don't have yet that one place, you know, or two places. It can't just be one. Yeah. It's got to be at least more than one, you know. Yeah. So we're kind of facing a little bit of the same here, but I got to tell you, I would love to find some really good jazz venues to just attend sometimes and have a different experience, and different forms of jazz, jazz from
That's
all
right.
different countries. It doesn't have to be just one thing, and I think we have room for that. So
Absolutely. And, I think there's still lots of discovering the creative ways that we can be together. If you do want to be home on your couch, I mean, whether it's a live performance and they're still streaming, and how to make that viable for the club owner and the artist and the person at home listening. We just have to get super creative about how to make that work for everybody. And as you're talking about making, public, places safe, not everybody, even if they're super healthy and boosted and bolstered and all that good stuff, everybody's situation is different. And we need to take that into account.
I like elbow room. I like, just a little room,
I know.
I don't want to be so close, sometimes. I was like that before the pandemic. I don't, I need some room. So yeah, definitely. So ladies and gentlemen, speaking of great musicians and jazz music and rooms, let's go to the Boom Boom Room from Hunter Copeland and Adam the Bull. This is an official music video from his album, The Boom Boom Room. Hunter Copeland has been traveling like a wrestler on tour. He is back. He is out. He is feeling good, and he's just, again, making his ways around the Huntsville, Alabama area, Southern Tennessee. And I hope that if you guys see him in your city or any of these artists that we're playing, if you see them on the bill somewhere, trust me, I got you. I'm not going to steer you the wrong way. You're going to get a good show from these artists that we're playing, okay? Or your money back. And guess what? You didn't spend anything to get here. So it's great. This is Hunter Copeland right here on Paradox East Radio, in tune with tmill, talking to my guest, Virginia Shank, about her music. And you guys are with us, so we thank you. We'll be right back. Hunter Copeland on lead guitar. Got Shelly Williams on the sax. John Onder back there on the bass. Got my man on the drums. And our dear friend, missing him like crazy, Bobby Blunt on the organ. Yeah, man, that's a good time. Boom Boom Room right here on Paradox East Radio. Talking to my friend Virginia Shank again about her music and what's going on for 2023. Hope you guys are having a good time. And listen, Virginia, what would you say is, now, let me ask this also because I forgot to ask this earlier. New music, where do you see, and that you can tell, I'll ask this because, let's do it this way. Where's somewhere you want to go with your music? Like something that you want to tackle or something that you want to say, I want to try this, as crazy as it may sound or as wild or, what's that? Cause I know you're very experimental, very passionate, very excited about music. So I can't imagine what that would be. So I want to know what is something that's maybe a style that you want to try or an instrument that you want to try out or something like that?
Well, first of all, you are an astute interrogator here. Great question. Great question. Hit the nail on the head. And, but of course, I'm not going to tell you. But yes, of course. I absolutely loved what David Byrne just did on Broadway. Crazy Wild Show, if you know that. Also, my band that I had been with for 10 years, these 4 albums, we actually disbanded. So I'm no longer working with those fine gentlemen. I miss them dearly. So I will be doing things differently. Not that there aren't plenty of other fabulous folks to be working with. I could call out some by name, but I won't. I'm going to leave it really wide open. And the pandemic kind of forced that on me just to really talk about, we got to sit down now. I mean, I did a lot of stuff online and behind the scenes, but okay, what next? Because it's a new time. A lot of it took us, this is your music therapist speaking, for when, in the pandemic of being very nostalgic, really clinging to the stable kind of music things that we knew of that made us feel secure and felt good. And that's fabulous. But what is the new music that you're just asking, tmill? Like what's coming in? So I've been having to really ask myself, what is it new? What do I hear? And what do I want to do? And so I'm wrestling with those now and can't tell you. Shh, it's a secret.
Hey,
calling you back.
But one thing I noticed, and I love this about, if you guys ever watch, and I've been watching way too much Lie to Me with Tim Roth, probably for some of this, but I'm watching as you're talking. I've got this thing now where I just watch people after watching. He's a micro expressionist, and he's watching people's micro expressions and things like that, where they're talking, they're solving crimes and things like that. And I have this thing where I'm watching what people do with their hands when they're talking.
Yeah.
And while you're talking, when you're talking about the music and it's being nostalgic, if you notice, you motioned and you're becoming whole. You're doing this motion of being whole, and you start talking about the music of the future. You're pointing forward. You're doing this, and then you're talking about what's new and new music, and you're this where it's like being open, open to new music and things like that. So it's just our bodies and, therapy and your teaching and your education, I think, are something that we can definitely look forward to. I'd like you to introduce us to this next video, Harvest Moon.
Oh,
yeah. Let's get into that.
Yes. So, this I did with fabulous musician on the keys, Mark Carey, who was Abby Lincoln's pianist in her later years, mid to later years. And, it's a Neil Young tune from back in the day. But I heard Cassandra Wilson do it, and that really piqued my interest. I'm also a nature lover and follow the cycles of the moon. And So the harvest moon, we just actually had it at the end of September. It came a little early this year. It was the last full moon, although we do have a full moon coming up next weekend. But the harvest moon, it's just kind of magical. So yeah, Mark Carey's a great guy, lives in Baltimore, teaches at Juilliard, crazy good guy. So y'all want to follow him and see what he's doing. Harvest Moon.
When we were strangers, I loved you from afar. But when we were lovers, I loved you with all of my heart. But now it's getting late, and the moon is rising high. I wanna celebrate, see it shining in your eyes. Because I'm still in love with you. I wanna see you dance again. I'm still in love with you on this harvest moon. Thank you.
Paradox East Radio, paradoxeast.org. We are back. And again, Harvest Moon from our guest today, Virginia Shank. Thank you guys again for tuning in with us. Thank you to our guest, Virginia. Man, listen, that had to be a pretty good night. I mean, I felt the vibes on that one. That was, again, just I love performances. And if you guys haven't been out to a live performance, believe it or not, there's still people that just haven't been out to a live performance, just yet. And, find your tribe, find that place, that you feel comfortable in, that you feel safe in, and listen to some live music, and especially explore. Like if you're already listening to live music, go out to a place, some music where maybe it's unfamiliar, discover some music that you may not have known that you like, and get a different vibration, get a different, we sometimes go to the same places. We see the same artists. We see the same people, the same faces, and wonder why nothing's changing. So it's like,
right.
Let's do something different sometimes, and break that norm a little bit and get out and listen to some different music, different vibes. So, Virginia, anything you want to leave us with this evening, this afternoon, or this morning, wherever people are watching from, before we get out of here?
Well, I like what you just had to say. And, novelty can be our friend, and reaching out and, whether it's going out to hear some new music or just diving into conversation with someone new, let's stretch out and let's do it together.
Absolutely. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat room. Even if you're watching this on the replay and you have some questions for our guest, she is tagged in the video, so she will see those questions, and I will be sure to get those questions over to her. And please share the stream, you guys. Paradox East Radio. You can share us wherever you're watching from, or if you're watching on paradoxeast.org. We are a licensed and registered indie radio station playing the best variety of today's indie music and today's most influential artists. We also record podcasts and produce original radio programs, and our purpose is to progress and preserve the culture of arts entertainment from around the world. And if you're a business or an active member in your community, an artist, a musician, a DJ, a creator, and you want to get in touch with us, email us at info@paradoxeast.org. And for airplay, PSAs, advertisings, or interviews, hit us up at info@paradoxeast.org. As we continue to progress and preserve the independent business and arts and entertainment around the world, we do that with your support from listeners like you. We are a not-for-profit station. We make sure that we play and we pay all of our licenses and things like that, and great events around the Tennessee Valley and abroad. We can do things with technology, and we can be in 2 different places. We can be in Turks and Caicos and bring you an event live to your living room. We can do that with your support. So to continue to support, you can donate $1 or more at Cash App or Paradox East on Cash App, or PayPal at paradoxeast@gmail.com, or hit us up for ways to pay on Zelle. Whatever way that you can support, no matter the amount, we appreciate it. It goes to our DJs, it goes to our programmings, our engineers, our equipment to keep us going. All right. And as always, our growth in entertainment, our goal is just to have 5 subscribers from this show. If we have 5 subscribers from each show, we will grow tremendously. So if you like anything you saw or heard today and you go, hey, I want to see a little bit more, or that guy did a great job, or you know what, I like the type of people that he brings on the show, I think I'd love to see this continue, hit us up, click like or subscribe, whatever your favorite channel is. We're not picky. Whatever channel you choose, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever you like, we appreciate the follow. And you can follow me wherever you like at tmill 205. We are Paradox East Radio. Virginia, thank you so much. You guys make sure, let me get that website up there again for you guys to check out. It is, I got virginiashank.com, and you guys can check out that website in the chat room. And Virginia, thank you so much for this. This is not the last time. It's not the first time that we've had a conversation. We're definitely going to continue to do this. And maybe, hopefully next time we can do a live on location, thing at the City Winery, or get you down here I would love to have you at Tangled Strings. If we could bring you down here for something at Tangled Strings, it's a really nice, intimate venue. That's immediately what I thought of when I saw the winery. There's a lot of places that would be great. So hopefully we can make that happen at some time. And please take care of yourself and keep smiling, keep spreading light.
Thank you so much. Loved it. Thanks, everybody.
Outstanding.